Are you looking for more out of your life? Do you need ideas on how to start new businesses and how to move forward in your own personal life? Well, guess what? You have come to the right radio show. At You Can Overcome Anything podcast show, you will learn and hear from many people from all walks of life who are sharing their challenges, their stories, the habits, and the mind shifts they had to overcome to become who they are today. On top, you will get a chance to connect and see how you can overcome anything by networking and learning about your next move through this radio show. I present to you our great speakers at You Can Overcome Anything podcast show with your host, Cesar Espino. Hello there, and welcome back to another episode of You Can Overcome Anything podcast show. It is your host, Cesar Espino, and today my guest, his name is Jim Clouse. Hey, Jim, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic.
Good. Glad to have you here on the show today, and definitely cannot wait to dive into who you are and a little bit of your history and the things you have going on for yourself now. Before we get started, let me give a little bit of a background of who you are, and then you can give us your story since you know it better than anybody else.
That sounds good to me.
Yeah. So Jim, he is the founder and the CEO and inventor of ClikitySplit. I might have said that incorrectly, but we can rectify it in a second. ClikitySplit, the world's first and only real-time dynamic marketing engine, as well as the world's fastest vertical search engine, 1,000 times faster than Google. Jim is a pioneer in online mapping and first displayed search results via GPS in April of 1998 on static maps. Jim quickly realized that displaying points of interest via GPS have that point of interest tremendous visual marketing power. Thus, the idea of ClikitySplit was conceived. So, Jim, first of all, I want to make sure I got that correct. Is that how you say that? ClikitySplit?
Yeah, it's pronounced ClikitySplit.com.
Okay.
There's only one C in Clickety.
Yeah.
And that came from a friend of mine that we were trying to find the names of a URL that was catchy.
Yep.
And I came across that one, and she lit up like a Christmas tree.
I love it. Before we dive into that, tell me more about your background. Like, where are you originally from, and how was your upbringing? Because it's always fascinating to see as a kid when people go through that journey, right? Did they have it in terms of becoming an entrepreneur, an inventor, or doing something and venturing into something by themselves, or that was not part of their their original upbringing? I want to know more about that from your perspective.
Okay, I was born in Tennessee on a farm and lived on a farm for 22 years, I guess. We raised tobacco, alfalfa, milk cows, so I know what hard work is. And I don't want to do it anymore. I can't believe I even still like milk.
Yeah.
But I do. I'm also a CPA by profession, and I worked for the largest accounting firm in the world. Not to really become a partner, but I wanted to look inside various size businesses. I've always had a passion to become an entrepreneur, to have that drive, and to start my own business. And I've done that, and I've made my living full-time online for 23 years plus. And I first off conceived the idea for ClikitySplit in 1998. And that's the days of the 56K, modem. Broadband was a dream. It was also the years of static maps. But my idea was, since I first off depicted the points of interest on a static map in 1998 with a site called NashvilleNow.com, designed to capture everything to do in Nashville. And by doing that, made me realize that gave that point of interest tremendous visual marketing power. And it took literally 10 years for the technology to catch up with the idea. And then we then, like I say, in 2007, started building ClikitySplit on the PC. and I filed for a patent in October of that year in 2007. And it took literally 13 years to secure that patent. But I knew what I had. I knew that I had an idea that was unique. I had an idea that would set the world on fire, because I have yet to meet anyone that likes to see an advertising pushed onto their smartphone. ClikitySplit prohibits all advertising. You'll never see an ad pushed onto your screen with ClikitySplit. The end user is in total control of what displays on his screen and how long it displays. He pulls down marketing messages, not advertisements, and he can easily compare one business against another one. Our technology is designed to display the points of interest by category, for example, restaurants, and subcategory, say steak restaurants. And only steak restaurants appear on our hyperlocal map. To change categories, all you got to do is to tap subcategories, tap say seafood type of cuisine as a subcategory, and on the very same map where we have previously displayed steak restaurants, we display only seafood restaurants. So you can very quickly, that's why we say that we're the world's fastest vertical search engine. There's no refreshing of the screen. There's no requirement to start a brand new search. You just tap and tap. The site is 99.9% tapping, with typing only required to change the default maps location that displays at login based on your GPS coordinates. I feel like real-time marketing, which is what the patent that I received in 2020 is based on, is a future of mobile, because one, no advertising required. Everything is it's a matter of who can outmarket and differentiate his business from the other guys in the same category and subcategory. They get the business.
Got it. One thing that you mentioned, and I think is pretty interesting, and I want to get more of that. You said that you always had the idea of venturing out and being an entrepreneur and kind of going through that route. At which point in your life did you come about that idea that you said, you know what, I want to be able to do this. I want to be able to not do the 9 to 5, obviously, again, being raised on a farm and having to work and do all of that on a farm, very well of that. And so at which point you say, you know what, I got to get out of this, this lifestyle and really take my leap of faith and venture into something that I'm doing for myself and not really for somebody else.
At about 12 years old, I decided I want to become an entrepreneur. That I want to start my own business or buy a business and turn it around. My family has had a rural background for years, but I always considered farming as legalized gambling. If it rains, you make money. If it doesn't, you have the same cost and don't make any money. If it rains too much, your crops die, you don't make any money. So I always said, Dad, I have no interest at all in becoming a farmer, because farming is, in my opinion, legalized gambling. And I've had people that, hear that and they just kind of laugh and said, yeah, you're right. I bought my first business when I was about probably 25 years old. I bought it out of near bankruptcy. I got it turned around, sold it. I've always I've always been one that could turn around companies. And I worked for a large Fortune 150 company, working out their problem loans. I never had one account that went broke or went bankrupt. It's all about relationships. If you can honestly, portray yourself and do as you say, keep your word, you can build up trust, and it's all about trust. That's why I'm saying that ClikitySplit is based on trust, because we will never, ever push an ad on anyone's smartphone. And no one right now knows about ClikitySplit, but they will very, very soon, thanks to people like you who want to get the word out. it's hard as can be to change the way people, do things. Everyone thinks that the search engines are the way to go. In my opinion, they are the way to not go. Mm. They've not really changed since 1998 when Google, counted links as votes and did what's called PageRank. But if you have, say, 4 or 5 businesses in the very same area, say steak restaurants in Brentwood, Tennessee, we convey those by red dots. That signifies that they use our technology, our what we call dynamic billboards. Mm-hmm. They change your content in 2 or 3 minutes to run flash sales. Every restaurant, for example, has a dead time after lunch, before happy hour. What are they going to do to get that business in there? If they all also have followers, they have people that follow them with their smartphones, Facebook and Twitter. They change your content in 2 or 3 minutes to run, say, a flash sale. For example, free glass of wine with push of an appetizer. Mm-hmm. We push that down to the followers' smartphones, to Facebook and Twitter, generating interest and filling those empty seats and stores. And that is real-time marketing. That's differentiation marketing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, one thing that I see here, and obviously you've been working on ClikitySplit for quite some time, and one of your biggest obstacles is having people to try out the fact that you have a better mousetrap, and really allowing people for them to really try something new, and as you mentioned here, prospects are reluctant to try something new because they're familiar with the search engines more than anything, and they're not really thinking outboxing or out of marketing. They're really looking at more at the search engine. So tell me more about that, because I think that's very, very relatable to many things in life, right? The idea of getting somebody else or a person to trust, like you said, build on trust, to trust and to try something different. I mean, you can even see that in our relationship. Like, you got to be able to get your husband or your wife or whatever that might be, your significant other, to try something different with you. Like, you know what, I'm gonna give this person that chance. I'm gonna give this person that chance on a relationship. It's still trying something different, right? How has that been for you? Because obviously you've sustained it for so long, yet I'm sure that you have so many ups and downs through that journey, and I want to hear more about that.
Well, they're called search engines and not find engines.
Okay.
ClikitySplit is a find engine. We'll give you the information quickly in a nanosecond, without spam. And people, just need to realize that there is a better way to do things out there. They need to realize that, hey, let me try something new. And once they see this work, and we even show our customers how to mine their followers, their own database. Everyone has got customers that patronize their business. And if they know that that business is going to run a sales incentive or a flash sale, and then that's communicated down to their smartphone, they're going to pay attention. Everyone likes a sale. Everyone loves a deal. Mm-hmm. And the more that you can market to that person directly, say the lady has always had her eyes on a pair of shoes that cost $300. If you run those shoes on sale for, say, 1 hour period at half price, that business has got a very good chance of getting those shoes that they're going to still make money on, sold. And we don't just tell them that our technology works. One of our patent claims is capturing true narrowcast analytics. John Wanamaker, the father of modern advertising, said, half the money I spend on advertising is wasted, but I don't know which half. Well, we capture every interaction with that business's rich multimedia mobile website. And at midnight, we tell them exactly which of their marketing endeavors works and which one were a waste of time and money. And no one else can do that, because the way our technology works is only the points of interest that display on one of our hyperlocal maps, that POI's GPS coordinates must fall within that hyperlocal map. Therefore, we can fine tune capturing those true analytics of every interaction that that end user has with that business. For example, how many people hit the hot deals? How many people tapped the promo code for the hot deal? How many people had the coupons, the slideshow, the video, and so forth? How many people looked at the menus for a restaurant? How many people looked at the quick information and the guest reviews? We capture every interaction with that business. And at midnight, we send them an email detailing those analytics. And that's been a heretofore unattainable goal, but one that everyone wants, because they want to know how to spend my money. And we prove it to them, exactly how best to spend that money.
Yeah. Now it's is this a paid type of system? If people want to, or how obviously people can go and find information or find whatever that might be. Is that free to the consumer, or is it a paid type of website for people to join?
It's free to the consumer.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Well, our dynamic billboards, say for restaurants, got 5 accordions. Accordions, they just drop down. They have 2 hot deals. They have 3 coupons. They have rich multimedia, audio, video, slideshow. They have menus, and they have quick information, which is a standard format for every business. That way, you can compare easily one restaurant against another one. It also requires a mandatory field for the health department score. I don't want to eat at a place that doesn't have a high score, so that's a disqualifying, decision right there real quickly. So we make them, include everything into this standard form, so that end user can, based on knowledge, not just feeling that of a website, that this is a restaurant that I want to go to, and I love his hot deal. Therefore, I'm going to choose him over the other 3 or 4 that's competing, in the very same area. Very simple.
Yeah, that's awesome. What has been one of your biggest lessons, either through building ClikitySplit or in your really your journey of entrepreneurial?
One of the biggest lessons I've received, I guess, is realizing that people are so familiar with what they're comfortable with and don't want to really change or do something out of their comfort zone. I want to jerk them out of their comfort zone and show them that, hey, what you've been doing is not only not good, it's not wise, it's also not profitable. Here is a much better way of analyzing a restaurant, a business, a hotel, a entertainment, venue, and so forth, than what is out there. Because some people can build a website that looks so great. For example, phishing. People right now are receiving phishing emails from the IRS and so forth. Well, the IRS does not correspond with you, but too many people fail because it looks so official. I just got a phishing email and letter from supposedly a patent trademark company, and it's based, of all things, in Washington State. And they wanted me to pay $925 to renew my copyright, my trademark. And I'm saying, these guys think I'm a sucker. And the U.S. Patent Office, which I know quite well, is based in D.C., and they don't correspond that way. But a lot of people fall for phishing scams, and I want to expose those. If you're in ClikitySplit, you have paid as a customer to use our technology. It's a monthly subscription based on what kind of billboard you want to utilize. Therefore, that pretty well eliminates all people that want to, try to rip you off. So the lesson that I've learned is it's hard to change people's way of thinking. You can lead a horse to water, you can't make him drink.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a much more delicious, pond than the guy next door does. So I want to show him that.
Yeah, no, it's good. Yeah, and it reminds me of that. A lot of times people are afraid to be uncomfortable by first being uncomfortable, right? So you got to first be uncomfortable to be comfortable, and people are so afraid of that idea, and is something that is very challenging to overcome, right? And so, how do you get people to get out of that mentality, and whether it's for their own personal life and or is for trying something as ClikitySplit, for them to really venture into that, because that's a very difficult aspect to get people to overcome.
It's very difficult because people have that comfort zone, but the more that people read about ClikitySplit and see its simplicity and see and the businesses, we even give a business a 40-day trial of our top of the line billboard, our Rich Multimedia website, for 40 days for $1, because we want to get him hooked on our technology. And we're going to show him, we're going to build first off that Rich Multimedia website with him in about 25 minutes. And then we're going to show him how to change his content, how to mine the people that are his followers, that his customer base. And we're going to show him at midnight which of his marketing endeavors worked and which ones were a waste of time and money. Mm-hmm. That, that's a guaranteed return on investment, $1 for 40 days. We want those customers that he has to try out our website, because we want him to offer them, hey, we change our content several times a day. We run hot deals at least 3 or 4 times a day. And we push that down to the smartphones, which right now are so ubiquitous. And people are gonna get a real good trial of our technology because it is so immediate, so real time. It's a challenge, yes, but it's a challenge that I'm definitely know is going to work, because I have a much better mousetrap. The world will beat to my door, but it may be in baby steps, not giant leaps. But they'll get there, and once they get there, they won't ever leave again.
Yeah. And having that said, that reminds me or brings me another good point, and it's kind of like that mental aspect and the idea of having that tenacity and that drive, right? And you're very, I like what you mentioned, right? You're going to get there. You already have that certainty, that faith, that vision. This is going to happen. It's already done regardless. That's number one. The second thing you mentioned is that it might take baby steps to get there. And so a lot of people want to get there fast, today, where it is a process. Now, that process for some of us could be a year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. The idea is that the process is different for every single person. I guess when you take the understanding that it's a process and you marry that to the fact that you have to have certainty and faith, then you're going to end up getting that at the end of the day. You've been on this journey for quite some time. Clearly, you are a man of certainty and you understand and you trust your process, right? What have been some of your mental aspects or maybe habits that have helped you stay true to what you're doing and not giving up? Because I can already, like being in business myself, like there's times that I'm like, I'm done. I want to throw in the towel. I want to give up. Obviously, then I come back to it and I don't, right? But I want to understand your perspective on that.
I've always had faith in myself. I mean, I got 100% faith that I'm going to always, in the long run, succeed. I don't give up. When we went through this patent process for 13 years, and I was turned down by the examiner. I in fact got the wrong examiner. He didn't know anything about the future technology. He couldn't evidently read very well either, because he asked us to define dynamic billboards in the patent, and it was in there 43 times. So, but it cost me a lot of money. I had, I think, about half a dozen final, actions, denials. I had to file a recurring examination request, which we did time and again. But then we went, I said, I'll appeal this all the way to the top authorities, the appeals board. And I did. We first off went before what's called the conference board, which is made up of an examiner, a primary examiner, and then the one that I had an interface with, the examiner. And they nailed the guy on everything, got it kicked out except for what's called prior art. And then I got it appealed up to the U.S. Appeals Board, the final authority. And we had that discussion. We had that meeting 22nd day of April last year. And they came back in June and ruled in our favor 100%. And you could imagine how the examiner all of a sudden changed his direction. He got nailed by the big boys, by the final authority. He then wanted to help us, rewrite some of the claims to make them even stronger. And then that was issued, like I say, in October 20th last year. But I've never in my life on anything given up. It's been a longer journey than I wanted, but I put it in God's hands, and God's timing is always perfect. And I've never spent 1 minute at all about worrying about things. I do not worry. I know what I got. And I have shown this to thousands of people, a lot of businesses, and I have yet to find anyone that was not impressed with the technology and thought it was rocket science. And that speaks very highly of what I've got. The future is real-time marketing. I have a patent on real-time marketing with ClikitySplit. I have a site now that I put up called smallbusinessnetwork.tv that pretty well shows everything that you ever want to wonder about real-time marketing, including 10 videos that are very explicit, very detailed. And we even have one at the very, very bottom for real estate. We have a real estate site that gives anyone that could ever want information about any kind of property, sale or buy, in detail. And we have also a forum where they can register to attend one of our webinars, Zoom meetings, where I will show them the future of marketing. And then we'll give them, of course, like I say, that $1 for 40 days use of our primary premium dynamic billboard. And it's gonna go.
Yeah. No, I love that. I love that. So if people want to find out more about you or ClikitySplit, where can they find more information?
I would go to, there's two sites I would go to. One is there's 6 videos at a site called ClikitySplit, split.com/teach, TEACH and that will give them 6 videos. But also we have a site brand new that's called Teaching SMBs How to Fish.com. And sister site is also called, just like I said before, smallbusinessnetwork.tv. Will give them everything that they could ever ask about the future of marketing. And that includes those 10 videos and information about ClikitySplit. So those 2 sites, well, I would go to smallbusinessnetwork.tv, and that way they'll pretty well know everything about the future of online and mobile marketing.
Okay, awesome. Definitely we'll have those on the comments too for people to check those out and go to those different sites and learn more about what you have going on. I'm curious to know from a self-development or just kind of working on yourself, right? Obviously, taking care of the business is one aspect. I always tell people that we have to be able to take care of this vehicle that is taking us through this journey. The vehicle being our body, journey being life, right? And once that vehicle gives up, then there's no more riding on this journey, right? So so I'm interested to know from your perspective, are there any habits or rituals that you do on a day-to-day basis to keep you in a positive state of mind and or keep you grounded to your purpose?
I get up every morning early. I've always been an early person. When the sun gets up, I get up year round.
Okay.
And even earlier in the wintertime, usually about 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning. I sometimes get up at 3 o'clock and work.
Wow.
I work sometimes 23 hours a day. You know, to me, work is a pleasure. It's not really work.
Yeah.
I work out. I eat healthy. I eat 2 meals a day. Breakfast is my primary meal. And I'll have dinner around 2 o'clock, lunch and dinner around 2 o'clock. And I'll get back at it. You know, I'll take a little break and get back at it. And I'm always thinking about how to do something better. How can I market better? How can I get the word out better? And I'm right now working with a company called Influencer Press, and they are doing an outstanding job about public relations. My problem I have is I need people to learn about ClikitySplit, to know that it's out there. And we're right now, you're our first podcast, and I want to thank you for that. You've been very attentive and asked some great questions. But they have done a fantastic job getting the word out. I just applied for the Forbes Technology Council, and we're going to have a lot of information out there in the marketplace, in the cyberspace that will, you know, tell people about ClikitySplit. And if I get a big interview on TV, people try the site out, the moon is the next, you know, target.
Yeah, no, I love that. I love it. No, that's awesome. No, that's definitely good. Given your journey on your own entrepreneurial journey, if anyone is going through some sort of challenge, whatever that challenge might be, what would be one advice that you can give them so they can start overcoming that challenge?
I'll give them 2. First off is believe in yourself. Have faith in yourself. And number 2 is don't ever give up. If you have vision that you have something better out there, tell the world about it. Keep the faith, baby, and don't ever give up.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. And that's very straight to the point, very simple, yet very powerful. Because it comes back to that. You got to believe in yourself and don't ever give up. And I always tell people that the people that are failing are the people that actually stopped trying and gave up. And I think it was Les Brown. He said there was this thing he was talking about, and he said, don't let anyone ever tell you who you are supposed to be, because you have to believe in your own self. So don't let the influences or different people to say, hey, ClikitySplit doesn't work. Like, do not allow those people, right, to try to take away the potential, the opportunity, what's in front of you. And that's in anything that we have in our lives. So definitely, I love those two messages. Jim, anything else before I let you go that you want to share with us?
I just want people, like to say, to give me a shot. You know, check me out. Business, check me out. You know, I'm going to give you, 40 days for $1, and you're going to have a rich multimedia mobile website that you can only dream of. It cost you probably $3,000 if you want to get it, built yourself. I'm going to show you how to market. I'm going to prove that our technology works. For $1 for 40 days, I mean, that's a
no-brainer.
ROI. It's a definite no-brainer. It really is.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. Yeah, definitely. And I think I like the concept. And I was kind of looking at the site while you and I were talking, and I see what like you said, is very simple. Just kind of click on the different categories, and the little that I saw, it's pretty neat.
It's so simple and so fast. I mean, you couldn't ask for anything better. And I'll add one more word.
Yep.
So powerful.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. No, I love that. Well, Jim, again, thank you for being here. I really appreciate you and sharing with us your knowledge and letting us know about ClikitySplit. And definitely thank you for being here.
I thank you for your time. It's been a pleasure. It really has.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you. And for the rest of you guys, do me a favor. Make sure you check out Jim. Go to those sites. They're going to be in the comments. Again, no brainer. Go out and check out for $1.40 days. You can get this thing that is super amazing. So make sure you guys check that out. And stay tuned for the next episode of You Can Overcome Anything podcast show. You can find us on every single platform. And we'll be talking to you next time. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Hi, I'm Cesar Espino, real estate investor, business coach, and consultant, and author of the book, You Can Overcome Anything, Even When the World Says No. My number is 424-501-6046. In my book, I talk about making the necessary changes to shift your mind for prosperity and certainty. Pick up your copy at Amazon. I also love helping families with their real estate and can purchase your house fast and all cash. Follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. My number is 424-501-6046.
Thank you for having me today. I am so glad you've tuned into this podcast. You can find me at your favorite podcast platform where you can like, subscribe, comment, and share. And to learn more about myself, my services, you can find me at www.CesarRespino.com, or you can also find me at your social media. Thanks for joining me, and I am looking forward to having you at the next episode. And know you truly can overcome anything.